Part 1: A shadow that was there. Imagine, you are standing in the middle of a deserted land, no lights, no car horns, just the cold wind and a whisper of nature. The night sky stretches endlessly above, and then, you look up. There are two moons. Not in a dream, not in a mirage. Two celestial bodies, one large, shining brightly as you are used to seeing, and one smaller, hovering nearby, gentle as a shadow accompanying you. It may sound like a fairy tale, but many modern scientists have hypothesized this, that our Earth, long ago, had two moons. The idea is not new. It began simmering in the scientific community decades ago, but it really exploded in 2011, when two researchers, Eric Asfog and Martin Jetzi, published a groundbreaking theory. Earth once had a second, smaller moon that orbited in a similar orbit to our current moon, until the two bodies collided. Not a catastrophic, explosive collision like in the movies, but a death hug, slow, quiet, and without fire. The smaller moon was sucked into its larger sibling, melted, and merged, leaving a scar that we can still see today, the rugged highlands of the moon. It's hard to imagine, but the evidence isn't just speculation. When humans first brought back moon rocks from the Apollo missions, they found strange things. The difference between the two sides of the moon, one smooth and hollow, the other rugged, gray, and covered with plateaus, cannot be a coincidence. The question is, why? Before 2011, scientists had only scattered guesses. But the two moons hypothesis opened a new door, not just for planetary science, but for the imagination of all of us. Perhaps, in the chaotic early days of the solar system, Earth was once illuminated by two companions. Two lights that accompanied each other, until one of them disappeared forever. Part 2: Memories in Stone. Let's return to the surface of the moon. When the astronauts of Apollo 11, 12, 14 set foot on that silvery land, they brought back not just flags or cameras. They brought back pieces of rock. Moon rocks, small, gray, but heavy with time. Not centuries, but billions of years of history, compressed into silent rock. And the first thing that puzzled scientists, the near side of the moon, the side that always faces Earth, is sunken, smoother, and has many old lava seas. While the far side is rugged, densely packed with plateaus, and the geological composition is not exactly the same. How could a celestial body be so unbalanced? For many years, people thought it might be due to the tidal forces of the Earth. Maybe it was due to meteorite impacts, maybe it was due to the difference in temperature when it was formed. But no one really felt the answer was enough, until the two-moon hypothesis appeared. Eric Asfog and Martin Jetzi, two scientists from the University of California and the University of Bern, proposed that, billions of years ago, the Earth had two moons orbiting it. Both were formed by a giant collision, the same one that created the moon itself. But the debris didn't just coalesce into one body, but two. One big, one small. Sharing an unbalanced orbit. Over time, the smaller moon was pulled into a lopsided orbit by gravity, moving closer to the larger moon. But instead of crashing into each other in a fiery explosion, they met in a cold collision, slow, but enough so that the smaller moon was pressed against the other side. Not explosive, not shattering, but as if a strange crust had been added to one side. And that may be why the far side of the moon is thicker, more rugged. A geological relic of that ancient collision. Sounds like science fiction? Maybe. But computer simulations show, it's possible. The geological model fits, the surface features match. Even more rare element-rich rocks are found on the far side, as if that part of the moon was mixed with material from another body. And then the bigger question begins to ring out, if that's true, then what else don't we know about our own past? When you look up at the moon tonight, remember, the side we see doesn't tell the whole story. The other side, where no eye has ever seen it directly from Earth, is where that ancient memory still resonates. Part 3: Facts, Myths, and the Gaps in Human Memory. So, if Earth once had two moons, why isn't it taught in textbooks? Why is it still somewhere between hypothesis and modern legend? The answer is as complicated as the story itself. The two moons hypothesis is not a definitive statement. It's a big question, thrown into the vastness of space, where millions of years of history are blown away by the winds clean, leaving only faint traces in the rocks and dust. Science doesn't operate on magic. It needs evidence, matching geological layers, precise measurements, tested models. And while Asfog and Jetsy's hypothesis was compelling, it lacked the most important thing, a clear remnant of a second moon. No core had been found. No individual chunks of rock had broken off, lying lost somewhere in the solar system. No remnants drifting like shipwrecks on the ocean floor. But maybe, it wasn't going anywhere. It was right there, right in front of us. Blending. Dissolving. Buried by billions of years of tectonics and collisions. We didn't notice, because it wasn't a moon anymore. It had become part of something we thought was unique. Like human history, some parts are so old, so obscure, that they are lost in the very fabric of reality. And then, we have to wonder, if the moon had a twin, what else existed that we have forgotten? The twin moon hypothesis makes people think more than astronomy. It stirs a deeper obsession, that the universe was once richer than we thought, and we have lost a part of it. Not because of war or disaster, but simply because of time. Every night, the moon still hangs in the sky. Still bright. Still familiar. But now, you know that it can be a living relic, a bearer of the memory of a brother who once existed, then disappeared without a word. Not all truths are carved in stone. Some lie in the void, where imagination and science meet, whispering what we once had, and what is lost forever.